And so we are here once again to talk about certain aspects of the sport of boxing that have become familiar. And at the foot of things is Mauricio Sulaiman, the president of the WBC. It is getting time that people should clamor for a new person to head the WBC, and certain fighters in the sport may want to step away from taking the considerations of voluntarily fighting for that sanctioning body. They have shown to us time and again that a reshuffling may be in order. So let's talk about why Mauricio should be shunned and other sanctioning bodies, if they don't fall in line, there should be a different consideration for them as well. As we talk about this subject that has been breached many times over and again, the one common denominator be at the foot of things, Mauricio Sulaiman, president of the WBC. This gentleman is one of the worst figures in the sport of boxing. He is a man of no scruples, questionable virtues, and absolutely an unethical person when it comes to his considerations in dealing with the business of professional fighters. He's totally biased, has shown extreme prejudice, and has the most bigoted of views when it comes to select fighters. Most recently, we've seen the likes of WBC champion, Devin "The Dream" Haney, whose record has been readjusted to 31-0 with 15 KOs. The junior welterweight champion of the world. As news has finally come down after the investigations of the New York State Athletic Commission, they found that Ryan Garcia, his last opponent from an April card, has tested positive for banned substances. Not just one, but multiple substances. And Ryan has professed to them in their hearings that he cheated, even though publicly he placed blame on a multitude of circumstances to be considered. This being, at the end of the day, simply because Ryan is a social media standout with millions of supporters. So thinking that he could get ahead of the game to get out there, Ryan, like the guilty party that he is, came out hoping that the public can support him through his misfortunes of being a drug cheat in the sport. I had said leading up to the promotion of this particular fight that he shouldn't fight at all. He was giving us signs of something that doesn't belong in this sport, but they still pressed forward. Enablers throughout our society never want to take accountability for when things go wrong. And no one wanted to take accountability here, even the man who was most accountable, Garcia himself. But to suffice what I'm talking about, we have to consider Suliman's post on X, formerly Twitter, where he came out on the 21st of June and stated the following. Many are asking how the WBC will punish Ryan Garcia. We don't care to punish him. We want to help Ryan, the human being. He is suffering, going through difficulties. This is not a matter of boxing. Ryan needs immediate support and attention now. Champ, we are here for you. First of all, if Ryan were going through such difficulties, why did the WBC sanction a fight with its champion for someone who needed immediate attention? Think about that for a moment. In a sport where the participants punch one another in the head for a purse and audience entertainment. Secondly, Ryan is no champ. You could substitute the A for a U in the spelling of the word and come up with a more definitive description of what he truly is. That being said, the champion was and is Devin the Dream Haney. And he who at no fault has represented most positively throughout the process, even allowing that April scheduled fight, his opponent, Garcia, to have the lion's share of the purse so that the fight could definitely take place and ensure that it was a form of encouraging the opponent to step to the plate. No considerations, no accolades for Haney being such a man like that. Especially in a time and age when all you're hearing about these athletes is their clamor for trying to feed their families. Turned out that Garcia really wanted no parts of the championship, as he elected to show up 3 pounds over the contracted weight limit for the WBC junior welterweight title. Knowing this, he's definitely not a champ. But Haney is. And still, having tested positive for banned substances, and now a total of 5 failed drug tests. The slap on the wrist, which is now thought to be the fate of Ryan, a 1-year suspension, retro to the April date, so meaning 10 months, in which he probably wasn't going to fight in that length of time anyway. But bring on the civil suits. Bring on other litigation. Because something very bad is at foot here. No accountability means that he's going to have to pay. And Jose Sulaiman is not going to be able to vouch for Ryan. Though he stated that they're there for him, Ryan has never showed any interest in Sulaiman and the WBC. Stepping away from fights that were mandated by the WBC. Stepping away from the opportunity to become a WBC world titleist. But Sulaiman is running dry. He and Ryan are so much alike. It's probably why they can't come together. One may be looking in the mirror at another at a different age. Because the overall aspect of who they are as individuals are so similar and so disgusting at the same time that people really need to wake up. And yet and still, someone with class, with dignity, and a positive upside can't get the consideration that he should, because the sea has been poisoned. This goes on, and you just can't seem to see clearly. But I do, which is why this editorial be as it is. The practices of these unethical bodies surrounding the sport and this particular match have brought Haney to a point where he says that he's going to take some time away from the sport and then come back and rematch Ryan Garcia. If he decides to follow through on that, it will be his choice. But if he does step away, vacate the WBC, no longer fight for the WBC, fight for DHP. Yeah. And for all of the detractors, the naysayers, those who celebrated Haney unfortunately dropping that original decision with 3 knockdowns by a juice to the gills Garcia, allow them to be your motivational fuel to drive, not to prove anything to them, but to disprove what they've tried to do when it comes down to your accomplishments and how your career has been managed and handled. Because you're still an inspiration to those who have yet to even hit a bag yet, and those who are coming along behind the path that you're blazing. And understand that there are others still who respect what both you and your dad have done and accrued through this process, and encourage you to keep going, because we are here for you. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think about Sulaiman and what he had to say about Garcia. And where do you see Devin Haney a year from now? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.